Welcome back to another video on the enhanced notes. In the previous video we saw how to enable that and how to create the notes under the enhanced notes under the accounts and the contacts. So in this video I'm going to show you how we can query using SOQL the same notes or the files in Salesforce. So this is the example that we have created, enhanced notes test title, and we created this on this account. So now let me go to the Salesforce inspector and query the contents that we have. So this is, I'm querying the content document with all these attributes, and I can see all this title which I have already created. I think this is the one that I have created here. But the problem is, if you want to query with the other account with which is shared, either user, contacts, or groups, you have to query the content document link. So the content document, it will not show you with whom it is shared. So you have to query with the content document link. So I have this query prepared. Let me show you how we can query that. I can remove this, and here it is. Yeah, so here we can see the content document plus with whom it is shared. So only those which are shared with any contact. Here in this case I'm searching for only contact. You can give LinkedEntity.Type as account as well. It will show other associated notes or files. Okay, so now the problem is, here we see this linked entity ID. This is either it can be account ID, contact ID, or any other linked entity ID. And the problem with this is, if we don't give linked entity ID, we cannot query the content document link. So if we have to see the associated contact associated notes or files, you have to provide the ID. Here I'm querying within this SOQL. Select ID from the contact. It's selecting all the contact and passing it to the linked entity ID. But if we have to query without the linked entity ID, let me show you. I'll not give the linked entity ID, but I'll just select these in the SOQL. See, we get this error. Content document link requires a filter by using single ID or content on the content document or the linked entity ID using equals operator or multiple IDs. So it is expecting me to provide the linked entity ID either with a list of IDs or a single ID. So what we have to do, I think this is permission that we have to give it to the user. In this case it's me, so that it enables querying the content document link without the linked entity ID. So now let me go to the permission set, how we can create that. So for the better understanding, let me create a new permission set. I will say content query permissions, and I'll use the Salesforce license, save it. And now in the permissions, I'll go to app permission, and here in the content section, you see this query all files. So I'll select this permission, allow view all data using SOQL queries, all files in the org. I'll save this. Okay, and now I'll assign this permission set to myself. Manage assignment. So I'm right now logged in as this user. Next, and I'm not setting any expiration time. I think for this I already created a video how we can select the expiration date. I can only select based on that. So I'll just select no expiration and then assign. Okay, so now this is assigned. Okay, let me come back here and refresh the screen, and I will query without linked entity ID. I'll remove this and then query. Ta-da! So now we can query without linked entity ID as well. We are not getting that error. That is because of the permission set that we have created here and assigned it to this user. So yeah, the trick is this permission in the permission set or the profile under content, app permission under content, select this, and this does the magic to avoid that error. So that's it for this video. Thank you. Bye bye.